Oh, the live long day.
Yeah, last session, it pretty much was you got ambushed by some bounty hunters. They got outsmarted. You're now down here in the lower levels of the city where it's eerily quiet. And Chrome Dome and her bountiful merry men are also down here. And you found Paul and Timmy.
And the major and them in.
Yes, the major and her men. Is there anything else I missed from last session?
No, that's about it. We foiled
Yeah.
bounty hunters with doors and gravity.
Doors.
Gravity.
And liberal amount of explosives.
Controlled detonations.
Think that the only real casualty was Pike's arm. Again.
Yes. Pike's arm got smashed by a big guy. I guess maybe your ego might have been bruising too because the big dumb guy was asking for tails. And that was making Pike very upset.
Oh, that
The
wasn't
crash
ego. That wasn't ego. That was what's the word? Trauma. There we go.
Flaring up the trauma.
Zizzo.
That just holds the hope of like, he was in the hospital last time. Are they really just going to kill someone randomly in the hospital? And it's like, maybe Tails is alive out there somewhere.
Introducing Dr. Jack Kevorkian. But it's spelled all weird because Star Wars.
Jack with 2 A's and a Q.
Jack.
Jacks.
And Kevorkian has several hyphens and apostrophes in it.
And
actually, Kevorkian's a pretty Star Wars name on its own.
It really is.
It really is.
Yeah, let's see. Zol Kevorkian. Yep, works.
Exactly. Just switch some letters and boom, you're right there.
I've mentioned many times how you make a Star Wars name, right?
Bathard Kevorkian.
You might have, but you have to refresh my memory.
Basically, you take the last part of, like, you find a name for medication, you take the last part and make the first name, and the rest of it's the last name. So I take a medication called isoparabazole, for example. So if I say Zol Isopara, yeah, that's a Star Wars name.
Yeah.
Mectin Iber.
Seriously, who actually just... I envy the people who get to have the fun to make up all these pharmaceutical compound names because they make absolutely no sense. They're just a
Quin hydroxychloral.
Yeah, that still works. It's long, but it certainly works.
Solution miracle mineral.
Finn Ibupro. Yeah, that one doesn't work as well.
Yeah, like
Finn
it
Ibu.
sort of still works.
Finn Ibu actually might work really well.
Finn acetamata.
Bill Ad.
Bill Ad works.
Null Tyla.
Null.
Yeah. All right, hold on. I gotta write these.
Tin Rita.
Yes, we can't wait to hear about the latest build we're gonna have now.
Well, if I ever have to pull an NPC out of my ass in Felons, I think I know what I'm going for.
If I have to pull an NPC out of my ass right now, then I gotta.
His name is Check's Medicine Cabinet.
His name is Xanax.
Naxen. Naxa.
Fine Simicone.
I think we're just waiting for Nox to roll your destiny.
I
can roll for him.
Oh.
I need someone to. I'm gonna need someone to take my character sheet.
All right, we'll roll the destiny for you.
Appreciate it.
3 light, 2 dark. That sounds like a great way.
Also, I guess Noko as well.
Yes, I will also. Would you like to roll?
back. Okay, hopefully that won't happen again. I don't know what that was. But I think we're golden.
We're golden. All
Let's
right,
let's go.
let's go. To bring it back, this environment, it is very dark. There are scattered pockets of light being amplified by some are like a very yellowish, like sodium lights. Some of them are just flickering street lights. This area is just in general disrepair. While you do see some speeders down here, they also look very banged up and they definitely don't look like they're moving. It's unusually quiet. Anyone who's ever been into a large city and just felt as they're walking around, you can hear your own footsteps echo around. It is a very, very quiet place. However, it appears for the time, it's just the two groups of you. The Major and her merry men, and you folk. I believe this last time, what the hell you doing down here? Or something to that effect.
That was indeed asked.
So what is this? Some kind of band of merry men?
The Major gestures to one of her troopers to pull out a data pad, and you see him starting to type something. Boop, 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 boop. Mary, perhaps. Here, there's something you should read first. As Ziza, you have something on your data pad saying, "Do you want to accept this drop?"
We got airdrop.
What am I accepting here, Major?
Text file. The reason why we, gesturing over to all our troopers, are here.
Alright, I suppose.
Is it to reach us about a Starship's extended warranty?
Yeah, he accepts it.
All right, you see a memo, it looks like, about almost 10 years ago, from one hut to another, to Gracchus. Talking about they have a mastery of genetic engineering. While they could make a virus out of it, they suggest doing something different. Instead, this unnamed hut would rather hijack someone's genetic code in real time, and then morph it into something called a gene jack. Basically, a servile, dumb, brutish idiot. A useful idiot. It could help in the loyalty of clones. Zan, I'm sure this is bringing back some memories back on the desert world of Draxel, where you had the mad clone with the flash memory madness.
Yes.
This seems to be a way. This seems to be a way for them to circumvent that issue. And in fact, they could even do it as a political dissident silencing method. You take someone who's smart trying to fight against the regime, you take them into a back alley, stab him with a vial of some genetic code hijacking solution. Next thing you know, they're a servile idiot for your cause.
Oh my god, is the Mandochurian candidate.
You know, this seems all a little involved for the huts. Normally they just take them in the back alley and shoot them. What does making him into an idiot get him? I mean, yeah, it's still walking, breathing, but
If I may suggest that perhaps we should continue this particular conversation in more comfortable surroundings.
As you're seeing that, a searchlight kind of generally, you can see a searchlight in the distance trying to search for people. You think it's someone searching for you because you see like the path of a searchlight going forward. They're nowhere close to you, but you know they're starting to search.
Ah, shit, they found the body.
Or looking for it. Regardless, shall we depart?
I agree. Let's make tracks. Except don't.
A favor I want from you, Zizzo.
Alright, let's get walking and talk that way.
As she starts gesturing first, there's some rubble we could hide under here. Should protect us from any searchlights.
Oh,
Gesturing towards the south.
right. Rebel. Okay.
You can see the troopers following behind her are trying to keep a vigilant watch out, making sure that no one's chasing them and there's nothing to make them seem that nothing to draw attention to you guys. They're also trying to hide from this watch light.
Are we behind the rubble now?
We'll treat as everyone effectively behind the rubble. Yes.
Can I do a quick improvised defenses to like shore it up,
Yes.
make it look really natural, cover us
Absolutely. Absolutely. Please do.
all? I think it's a 1 or 2 purple mechanics check.
Like mechanics or survival?
This is construction.
2 purple survival check.
Survival?
Yeah, it's survival. It makes sense because you're basically using your knowledge of the environment to
Is this
make something.
construction
I
specialist?
would.
No.
No, improvised defenses.
Oh, there it is. Improvised position. Got it.
There's wait, hold on.
Yep.
There's 2. There's improvised
There's 2,
position,
yeah.
which is it's more like that's like creating a hangar or barracks that takes 12 hours. Improvised defenses is more of a hey, that table makes great.
Oh,
cover.
there's improvised defenses. Got it. Yeah, I see it. All right,
Like,
2
hey,
purple.
you guys start talking. I'll be at this for a while.
2 purple survival.
Start building an aircraft hangar.
It's great for a specific type of campaign. There's a few talents like that.
I
Alright.
would like to make a 4C check.
All right. Let's give me a
Hey,
force die for 4C. Perfect.
well done, big boy.
So what are you using like stones and rubble to make this this cover, or what are you using?
It's like just whatever's lying around. Like I see, there's probably
Yeah.
like some tarpaulins and stuff, making it look like
Mhm.
trash, but trash that we can hide under very effectively. So I just like start. Hold on, give me a second. I just start
Mhm.
grabbing like rocks and rebar and shit, and just like tossing it together.
Perfect. As you're finishing it up, there's a searchlight that gets fairly close towards the edge, stays there for a moment, and then just keeps going.
What?
And you just hear muttering in the distance, in an alien language no one here understands.
Oh, that's not good.
Yes. Pike,
Z-
would you like to roll the force die for the 4C check? What are you trying to
Yes.
foresee?
I want to know the likelihood of Major fucking us over.
All right, yeah. As you hear the alien noise, the major breathes a sigh of relief. They shouldn't be searching this area for a while. We've got some time. All right.
So, for the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to activate a light side point first for 2 strain.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So what you're seeing in your vision is actually you're seeing the major shake hands with Zizzo on some sort of agreement. You also see Roger. There's some kind of medical tank behind them. Some hologram of a businessman. Credits on a table.
the worst type of hologram.
Worst type of hologram. A sassy businessman.
And then let's use a regular dark side point at that for a little bit more details on the nature of the businessman's credits being given.
The business deal.
The man in the hologram seems to be speaking something, and the bomb appears to be arming by itself. But as soon as the credits get laid onto the bomb depowers its armament.
Thank you for purchasing the bomb defusal DLC. Have a nice day. Don't forget to purchase it in the weekend. Okay, that's interesting.
That's what you see.
I'm about to invent the Ponzi Nator.
But yes, Pike, as you're meditating on it, you do hear the voice of your compatriot inside of you. You're strong in this force. We have not felt this in almost 25 millennia.
Oh no. That's out of character. Because I actually read the Monarl thing years ago, but I'm doing my best.
The Major looks over to Zizzo, and they continue that conversation. I need a favor from you. That file I sent you. This world has what's called a gene jack factory. They take the slaves, the ones that are less than intelligent, put them in the tanks, and process them. The slaves that are more intelligent, like the Sakayan, even the Nikto, even the Pikes, they're sent to Varl for reasons unknown. Not even to me. Not even when I was the head of the syndicate.
Right. And what's that got to do with me? You know, me buds here.
Well, I know our good old friend, Roger, from Narkrita, is operating nearby.
That's certainly a
I don't
liberal
know.
definition of friend, but sure, yeah.
Well, you're probably more friendly terms than I am with him. I also heard of a rumor that he does have one of those broken arrows from the corporate sector. Something very similar to what Marvin used right after the bombing of the tower several years ago.
This is pretty convoluted. What's in it for us? Yeah, I know you
What?
haven't asked us what to do, but I'm looking out for my friends here.
Understandable. Well, let's just say right now, if you try to leave this world, you'll be detected far before you get to orbit. When me and my merry men go on the suicide mission to the factory, that'll create more than a well enough distraction for you and your friends to leave this world.
Hang on. Suicide mission. What? What?
The only way for us to get this bomb into the proper position and to stop this madness on this moon is to put it deep in the factory.
You never struck me as the
Quick question.
magnanimous type.
Quick question: Is she saying this to all of us or just to Zizzo?
She's primarily talking to Zizzo, but she could be looking around the room.
She's not
In
whispering.
short, is she audible enough to be heard by everyone else?
Oh, yes. She's audible to be heard by everyone on this.
Anyway, so you go do on the suicide mission to get us a distraction to get us off world. What do you need from me?
Roger, I believe, has this corporate nuclear weapon.
That's not surprising.
I need that bomb. And I need that bomb to annihilate the factory and make sure it never gets rebuilt.
Why do you need that one? I can make you a better one for half the price.
She looks over. Unless you can create a bomb that can level 30 square kilometers and is only just slightly larger than you, then yes.
I'll show you. You got a imperator class hyperdrive lying around. 2-day job, max.
She kind of looks over, tilts her head at a 20-degree angle. That's a good joke. Do you think you can work for 2 days while they are looking for you? She gestures above.
Yeah, give me. Yeah, give me 12 hours. I can build a much nicer lean-to than this. Probably take a few starships inside too. Start from here, work out. We have a nice little base situation going on. To replace the one that was nuked back on in character. He doesn't remember the name. Out of character, I also don't remember the name.
Narkrita, yes. It has been a few years, and you have been in a coma.
Big boy, I hate to break it to you, but a base here in the middle of what is this? The dead zone, the wildlands? I don't remember the name you called it, but there ain't no resources out here. We'd be going out into those searchlights every day. I mean, that's not a problem for me, but you're a little bit bigger and more conspicuous than me.
Yeah, as you look around, you do notice there's rubble, there's husks of speeders, and from what you can tell, it does not appear to have any sort of engines or drives or anything with it. It's just like the chassis.
There ain't even a Bantha burger around here.
God damn, I could go for a Bantha burger right now. But fair point. I don't know. I'm just not too jazzed on the suicide mission. I just found a reason to keep living. You want me to give it up to find some dumbass bomb? I bet it's got shoddy craftsmanship and everything.
You don't even have to go on the suicide mission. I'm going on the suicide mission for vengeance. You get a distraction for it.
You see Zizzo's eyebrows like furrowing in confusion. Vengeance? What, for Nakrita?
Yes. Well,
okay.
when the tower was attacked, I was before the tower was attacked. Apparently, I was persona non grata in the Hutt Empire.
Right. Well, I mean, sure, if you want some help getting a bomb so you can go blow yourself and all your most hated buddies out into the stratosphere, I mean, I suppose we can try to help. We do need to get off world, but anyway, we can maybe, I don't know, talk a little strategy, maybe look at something you haven't seen. I'm not fond of you, but I don't like the idea of you going and sacrificing yourself just because, well, you don't like the Rascos and the Hutts. No one likes the Hutts, but that doesn't mean I go and throw myself at them with a bomb.
Yeah, why not just direct an asteroid or 7 at them?
There were no asteroids when you were looking around Nar Shaddaa.
I mean, Big Boy's trying to work on the logistics of like getting several asteroids into hyperspace, and then, yeah, maybe you're right.
I mean, what kind of cybersecurity do they got? Any way we can just upload some sort of virus and just take the place out without destroying 30 square kilometers? There's got to be civilians and other shit in there.
There's no one down here aside from us, the hostages within that factory, and those damned far outsiders who are in control of these huts.
Fuck. If there's far outsiders, they're probably using, what is that techno-organic mumbo shit.
Whoa, we talking about the squiggly guys with the
Yeah.
eye poison?
Yeah, them.
Ah, Christ. Squeezes,
Anyway. if you won't be dissuaded, lost. Zan, you got anything to say?
Zen's there, like, just absorbing everything. And it's like, Major, I think you've heard our case. If there's a way that we can have you survive this, and considerations that can be made to do so, we'd like to suggest it and see what your strategy is.
We have already evaluated in our group independently, as she gestures towards the troopers. We would at least need one of our personnel to make sure the bomb doesn't get deactivated before the
What
incident.
What about Vaughn? He could whip up droid pal. I'm assuming Timmy and the other guy are glaring at me, but you know what I mean. Hey Vaughn, you're a genocidal maniac, little gremlin man. You think you can come up with something that isn't as much as I hate to say it, just a big ass bomb?
I don't know if he's
Vaughn?
gonna. I don't know if he's gonna hear you. He's got his headphones in.
I-
He zones
I
out.
figure he's just like. I figure he's just tinkering away with the bot and like completely just like zoned out, ignoring us.
Another mouse droid is apparated out of nowhere.
I'm picturing him with like those huge can headphones, and he's just like gone, completely.
We're like, we're all facing the major. When we turn around and look at him, there's like a mouse droid. Every time we turn around, there's more mouse droids.
He's just like pulling them out of like random cavities of his droids.
It's like a top
like-
hat of mouse droids.
It's like, yeah,
No, I
basically.
was thinking there's like they're made out of like rebar and like rubble and other material. He's just like
And this one, and
Tinkering.
this one.
this one and this one.
Phil and Timmy are just clown cars for mouse droids. Not Phil, Timmy and something. Is it Phil?
Hello.
Anyway,
Zan. The major looks back to Zan.
Mhm.
Do you remember the Galactic Empire's military history? Do you remember a large corporate troop ship called the Harbinger?
Out of character, what kind of role would that be?
Knowledge warfare would be an adequate one. I'll also let you do knowledge core worlds to have more of a societal historical importance of this. You know, for the players, this is that one shot where they were all stormtroopers and they all, yeah, if you remember that one shot. That's right, because yours the character, the one who got stuck with the bomb.
that was
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
before
the difficulty of the check. Let's see, you grew up on Coruscant, so it'll be a lot easier because it's pretty close by. So
Yeah, you
let's
could-
call it 3 purple, 2 black.
me. That's the easy check.
You could use 3 purple, 2 black, either knowledge warfare or knowledge core worlds, or
Reference
knowledge
item,
lo-
reference-
or knowledge lore,
Okay,
whichever one
that
you
one,
use.
that one I could certainly use.
Yeah.
God, yeah, there's the button. And 3 purple, 2 black.
3 purple, 2 black. Not having great answers to the hollow notes, this is more you need to remember off the top of your head.
This was like banging on his data goggles. He's like, come on, what the fucking reception?
Yeah, Zizzo, this is the worst, right? It's you ever have been on a Wi-Fi network and it's like you are
Yes.
connected, but there's
Yes.
no signal?
Yes,
Yes.
too much. Intimately familiar with that. It's the worst.
All right, 3 successes, 1 threat. So with the successes, we'll start with the base of 1, then you can ask more questions. I can give you more context. You do remember late during the Blitz that there was a Red Saber, now you call it corporate sector, troop carrier called the Harbinger. A massive superstar destroyer size carrier that was going to land troops on Coruscant. Had it landed, would have been Coruscant would have fallen. Or at least very heavily damaged. It was only saved because Constable Squad 014 narrowly snuck in a bomb while security had a slight lax or error in it, And then they stuck with the bomb to make sure the bomb was detonated, thus destroying the troop carrier and swinging the battle very well in the Empire's favor. Or the then Empire's favor.
Alright, I mean, like, meta-wise I know, but in character, I'd like
Mhm.
to use one success to find out, were there any survivors of Constable Squad?
So they did a movie on it, and they try to make these movies as historically accurate as possible. There was evidence of a shuttle leaving at the very end before the destruction. It's unknown if the shuttle survived since it wasn't reported. It missed its jump point, essentially. So it's considered a loss, missing in action. At least 4 people died on the ship, according to comms chatter, including one who was a very high-ranking medic who stuck with the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
There might be survivors, but they've not been found yet, if they were.
Just ponder the other success. Probably be, like, for better or worse, it would just be simply, like, if the Major is just trying to compare that situation to our own at the moment and whatnot. Which I think, even without success, I could probably confirm as yes.
Yes. I'll say the threat is that you're thinking really hard about this, so you're just going to get a setback die in your next check. As the racking, like, oh, if I only had the holonet on me, I'd be able to get so much more information.
If only there was a way, Zizzo. Anyway, joking aside, like, Zan looked back and was like, ah yes, the Constable Squad. And yet, even I remember hearing that, even though if they weren't found, they were suspected to be a shuttle full of survivors. I'm sure with good planning and a lot of luck, maybe you will be favored as similarly.
He looks around as the troopers kind of look around, look back to each other. We will consider our odds a little bit better in that case. The success of the mission still comes first for us.
And presuming if your plans are back at your base of operations, perhaps we should proceed there accordingly.
We have no base of operations. It would have made us too vulnerable to search parties.
So you've
No,
just
the
been
office still
basing
stands.
yourselves
I can
within,
make one.
so you've just been basing yourself within this quadrant?
Taking some salvage, but mostly from supplies we've already taken that were brought with us on this world. Taking cover where it's needed. But I believe you, gesturing to all of the PCs, have some information guiding you to mysterious helper signal. I'm sure that's where Roger is.
For what it's worth, if we find new information that might even the odds, I'd recommend that you provide your comm signal so we can advise.
He looks around, thinks about it. She tells you a frequency. Only communicate once you have the bomb. The signal will certainly be encrypted, but the transmission time must be very short. Unless they figure out where we both are.
Under 5 seconds?
That should be sufficient.
Zan simply nods.
So no daily wellness calls or nothing.
I could sure. I could rig up a signal to get that out pretty quick. No problem.
Good. She stands back up and gestures out beyond the fortifications that you set up, big boy. We should split soon. Keeps yourselves covered. Monitor to see if any other patrols are around.
While that's happening, Zan will ask for like a basic rundown of their proposed assault on the factory. Whether it be like a literal paper plan that has stuff written down, or whichever one of the be the major or one of the other followers on had concocted the main plan.
So you see one of the troopers has a data pad and just shows you a picture of it. Their plan is pretty straightforward. There's a perimeter on this factory. When we think of a Earth-based terrestrial factory, is like it's got 1, maybe 2 floors, and it's really wide. This Gene Jack factory is more like a city unto itself. It has some entry points, primarily where slaves are going to get brought in for processing. Then they basically take the slaves, they basically bolt them down, or they sedate them, or some way make them docile. And they shove into some conveyor system, and then there's a huge vat of liquid towards the very bottom. What the Major's plan roughly is much like what's the historical battle? I'm blanking on it because there's actual historical parallel with this. They're basically going to create. They already have equipment set up around the factory to make it seem like a massive numerical assault is occurring. And while they essentially distract the defenders there, they're going to sneak into the center of the factory and try to destroy it from the inside.
Do you remember
You're talking about
vaguely
the
what
Trojan
era
horse?
of history?
I just remembered some guy just put a bunch of torchlights outside of a fort. Maybe this was Caesar, maybe this is someone else. I want to say it's ancient.
That sounds like Sun Tzu.
It could be a Sun Tzu thing. But all warfare is based on deception, etc., etc. Nothing new under the sun. Yeah, they're basically going to fake a large assault, and while that's occurring and forces are drawn away, they're going to identify an opening, penetrate deep within it, and then either overload some kind of energy generator that's inside of it, or ideally bring a bomb inside, just absolutely annihilate the factory. She looks around, kind of peeling around to see the gaps in the rubble, peeking around to see if there's any patrols outside. She does not see any.
Who's controlling the spotlights? They automated?
No, they're from LAATLEs. Former Rasco equipment, now converted into essentially mobile spotlights.
Under HUT jurisdiction, yeah?
Under HUT jurisdiction, which therefore makes it under far outsider jurisdiction.
Fuck. Alright, well.
If you see a HUT, they think they're in control. They are not. I still never found a good answer why they're bringing the intelligence slaves straight to Varro. It seems such a weird dichotomy.
Might be to make up for something they're lacking over there, intelligence.
You see her laughing, you actually see all the troops laugh at the joke, because it's actually pretty funny to them.
Finger guns all around.
Well, you may be onto something there.
Alright, well. So we steal you a bomb, and we meet you up somewhere so you can take the bomb and go kill yourself.
Yes.
One hell of a plan there. Anyway, sorry. Don't mean to rain on your parade. Let's go get a bomb so we can get off this goddamn rock.
No complaints here.
And
All right.
Major, for the record,
Hmm.
you can come with us, you know? You don't gotta kill yourself.
There are some things more important than survival, Sisso.
I mean, suit yourself.
You sure we can't get you some hover boots or something? Maybe outfly the crowd. You know what I mean. I saw it in a hollow vid once.
He sees Izzo kind of knock Big Boy in the knee. Let it
Ah.
go. She gently, not like more just like getting his attention.
Mhm.
Let it go. She's got her mind set up.
Well, I was gonna say that vengeance inevitably leads to self-destruction, but it seems like you skipped a few steps there. Skipped right to the end.
I've seen this
Oh,
before.
sorry.
So when a gang gets wiped out, got one survivor, they don't have much of a will to live anymore.
Unless you give them a reason to continue.
Yeah, that was the tricky part.
You see the major kind of just look at you in silence that time, and now he's starting to gesture to the troopers to using military hand signals of, look out, look over here, keep the eyes, pay attention to some kind of signal that you don't understand, but you're sure it means something.
Zizzo records it with his data goggles.
Understandable? Sounds good. Just make sure you put that in the chat so you can remind me if it ever comes up again.
It's actually Alderaanian sign language for these guys are fucking morons.
You wish. There you go. That was the setback die from the threat in that check. The major and his troops are starting to, flush out. And she only says in leaving, only contact us once you have the bomb.
Yeah, we'll let you know when you get to kill yourself. With all good.
If I don't hear from you in 6 hours, I'll presume you are dead. As vanishes, she goes up through, and a slight industrial fog starts blanketing the area as she walks into the fog.
Wait, hold up. We got 6 hours to plan this op? Is that... Ah, shit.
You have 6 hours to get a bomb.
She told us where it was. Can't be that hard to find.
Well,
Break
I
into
don't
'em.
feel like finding it's not gonna be the hard part. I feel like maybe breaking into a heavily fortified facility without any of our usual shit could pose a bit of a problem.
Really? Big Boy, you?
I-
You're the one being skeptical right now? This is your wheelhouse.
You remember what I don't know if you remember, but our ship went bye-bye along with most of my explosives, including, might I remind you, the 2 sweet fuel air bombs I picked up from those Transoceans.
Nah, those are noisy.
No. We're breaking in to steal a massive what?
Zizzo just smirks, and there's a very sardonic look to his eyes, but... Right. Should we get somewhere where we actually can get some fucking connection to the HoloNet so we can get a better eye on this?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So Zizzo, it sounds like you want to find a place that has a connection to the HoloNet, right?
Might as well, yeah.
All right.
It's
Give
hard
me
to
a
do planning here.
understandable. Give me a 1 purple survival check.
Survival.
Yeah, and give a 3 setback die on the basis that it's really, really, really crappy signal, and it's a little bit of a patchwork given the decrepit state this area is in.
Can I do an underworld check? Or streetwise?
Streetwise would also work, yes.
Okay, streetwise.
Streetwise would make more sense, yeah, because it's more of an urban environment.
Okay, streetwise. So 1 purple, 3 setback.
Correct.
Okay, one of
So
those
plus
goes
2
away.
success.
And one of those goes away because
Mhm.
of street smarts. So 2 setback.
Nice.
Very
yeah,
nice.
You thankfully find a connection to the HoloNet. It appears to be an outlet over by the speeder.
Yeah, Zizzo's got a data pad up, and he's kind of scanning the area. Oh, hey, look, there's a bit of power over there. Look. Don't mind
Yeah,
me.
there seems to be an outlet there. Yeah.
Gonna yeah, he'll just kind of slowly approach. He's gonna kind of scan the area. Does he see like this? Is it in the speeder that the outlet is, or is it against the wall?
No, it's in the wall hidden behind the speeder.
Yeah,
you could squeeze in a little, or you could just use a cable and you'll be able to plug in to that port right away.
Yeah, so Zizzo kind of sneaks up and kind of gets himself almost wedged underneath the speeder, so he's pretty. If a searchlight came by, he wouldn't see him, and then he kind of looks back. All right, get some cover. And Jackson.
It's a slight little spark coming out of it, but once you plugged in, you finally get an actual connection to the HoloNet. It's a little slow. It's an old terminal from many millennia ago, where the old network was pretty much more wired.
That's what my internet used to be.
Fuck, it's only on 8G
think
here.
think dial-up. The equivalent of dial-up.
It's making horrific whirring noises.
Well, thankfully your data pad's smart enough not to do that, but it's just connected to the old HoloNet network. That's just planetary based.
The MySpace days.
The MySpace days.
I remember this stuff from when I was a kid.
Yeah, you've seen this before. Yeah, it still sucks.
Yeah, so he's gonna start doing some research on this place, kind of just digging around, seeing what, if he can get some potentially blueprints or, street camera layouts.
Still got an advantage and a triumph for the record.
Yes, so the success is you found a connection. Your advantage and the triumph. What do you want those to be? As you're searching for this stuff. Like, what do you really want?
Run it by me again. We know it's in some sort of complex.
Yeah, it's a complex not that far from you, maybe like a 20-minute walk.
Mm-hmm.
From the brief thing you've looked in the HoloNet, it looks like more or less abandoned. Used to be some sort of like a brewery.
Okay. So advantages, are there Triumph, can we say I find an old schematic? Maybe there's an entrance through a cellar or something of that sort?
Yeah. There's a second floor entrance you can get up to. If you just brush behind a ladder, there's basically a ladder you can pull down if you want to enter from the second floor.
Okay.
There's also a very old door passcode that, if the place is abandoned, this is like the last passcode for that door. I'll let you just waltz right in.
All right. So I don't know how appropriate it is, but I have this talent.
Okay.
So could I spend a destiny point
I guess I don't know if I can get out of spending a destiny point by spending the triumph and advantage. Probably not. That's probably not equal.
No,
but
that's why
No,
there's destiny point in
point
the
is
talent.
but basically,
But-
I would like to spend enough time to get enough information so that, and basically give it to all my friends. Be like, look, here's some blueprints. There's a backdoor entry here. There's a single passcode. It's old, but it should still should still check out. This should give us at least some sort of an upper hand, knowing the local layout of the place.
I think an interesting way to combine it all would be like the idea that how you found this information was like basically like almost in a sense like you basically in quote unquote found a blog about this. Whether it was like from an actual hacker group that you actually literally hacked into to actually do so, or
Better yet,
whatnot.
it was a conspiracy theorist group.
Oh, I like that.
Some
like the
conspiracy
flavor.
theorist group that was like, scouting or scoping this place out and talking about how they saw weird alien type people going in and out, not people you see around Nar Shaddaa, and talking about
Narcreta was an inside job, man.
Narcreta was inside job. Yeah, those droids are the one who blew up the bomb.
yeah, basically conspiracy theorist webpage that actually has an impressive amount of information.
Which is
Guys,
like
I
one
found
of
some
the people
bantha
from that site
tranquilizer.
actually is the inside person, but they've got the
Mobs
their information.
against Nar Shaddaa violence, or I don't know.
Moms against
There's
alcoholic violence.
There's a sponsored link for Womp Rat Dewormer.
Bantha dewormer.
So
Yeah,
It's the cure to the bond and cough. Here, just stick this Bantha dewormer.
Okay.
okay.
Hey, we're not on Twitch. We're not getting demonetized.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not
Yeah, it's
streaming
just on
live.
YouTube.
It's just on
Go on.
YouTube. Well, we're not getting money anyway, so.
No. So I will spend that destiny point.
Mhm.
I'm not really sure how we can. I guess the advantage and triumph. Then we can just
Rolling together, you found the website, you found the old code.
Yeah. Yep. So we just
Yeah,
we
I
have a
think
way
that's fair.
in. We know the blueprints. We know entry points, and should give us a
In record time.
In record time, too.
yeah. Just those like surprise.
Why do you have this on your favorites?
Yeah, he's just kind of passing through. He's like, holy crap, they still got a lot of signal on this one site. Yeah. All right, well, and starts downloading it all and passing it along. All right, I'm good to go here. You guys ready?
Zizzo, you're still connected, right?
Yeah. It's slow as
See what
shit,
you
but
See what you can find regarding the blueprints about the place the mage is going to go to.
yeah, sure. Let me see what's
Sounds
out there.
good. Give me a moment to look at this window.
He starts going through the site repository for the for this conspiracy theorist. Yeah, basically he's going into the back end of this site and finding all the different connected sites and random web pages that never fully finished and published.
Yeah, so you want to figure out this layout blueprint of the Jack factory?
See what we can do to help out the major. Perhaps help them not kill themselves.
All right. So I'm gonna say everything you try is access denied, and it's officially all on another server. However, so if you want the actual inside of the building, like the whole complex itself, anything with the layout, I would say that's an impossible check. Give me a destiny point. We'll figure it out from there. If you want pictures of the outside, because conspiracy theorists are all taking pictures like, oh man, this is like Area 51. Here's what I've seen. This is definitely UFOs. 3 purple computers check. Seems fair. Or knowledge underworld.
Let's go computers.
Yeah.
3 purple. Okay. Let's do that.
And let me add some setback die to that.
Oh.
That's good. I was going to add 2 setback die to the check.
I
Do you
think
have anything to remove setback?
I have bypass security.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have 4 ranks. I have 4 ranks of that. So
Look,
those
you got
setback
setback
dice.
talents. We're going to use that back. All right. Yeah, you see some pictures of the outside. There are some very avid people. Even as this factory is being built up, they're like, "What the heck is this random pharmaceutical plant?"
Mm-hmm. Conspiracy theorists, man. They're nuts.
Yeah, they're nuts. They think everything's a conspiracy. This one actually seems to have some legs on it. Most of the people who have started taking photos of it, their last post was taking those photos.
Mm.
What information would you like to know about from the outside pictures? Or from the forums?
Let's see. Were there any like suspicious, like watching any like speeder vans or anything that went around to maybe places they couldn't get pictures that didn't seem like there were entrances? Basically, like, are there back entrances? Is there a sewer system around there? Like, checking out the pictures, doing enhancing, and be like, oh, that might be a sewer system. They might be able to get in from the bottom.
There definitely is a sewage system. Mostly the sewage obviously flows out instead of flows in.
Nah.
There's also a massive pipe that seems to then go to a distribution station of some sorts and then splits off from there. There seems to be some massive liquid pipe. Like whatever the product is that's being sold here gets sent out and then distributed. It seems large enough you probably could fit a few people in there. Could be another vector. Let's see, what else would there be? There are a few gaps in the security, it seems. The security is very interesting. There's staffed sentinel posts, just like security posts, right? Like there's a guy there to look out. They seem like rascals. There's the occasional patrolling LAATLE police gunship with the spotlights looking around. And then there's some of these far outsiders who just they look, and the far outsiders always seem to be noticing these people first, based on the pictures that you've seen. And there certainly is a lack of concentration near the sewers. Do what you will with that information.
Yeah, Zizzo just, starts compiling these pictures. He's sitting there under there, and he's circling things and making notes, and he's basically putting together what amounts to a mission or intel debrief for the major. So when they get a signal, he'll just shoot that all over and be like, "Do with this what you will, but there's an exit. Got to take the sewers, and then you won't blow up." Yeah, basically, it's he'll put this all into like a encrypted package, and he'll send when he gets. I could probably send it to him now since I've got HoloNet access, right? He might not, or she might not, but
he might not probably be a better attributable phrase.
But she would get it when she does.
Yeah, you basically when she does get access, she'll be able to receive it. Yes.
Yeah, so he'll put this all into a package and encrypt it and send it over in a couple messages with passwords and stuff like that, and separate messages. And each one will be entitled "Red Carpet Services," now specializing in plumbing.
Yes, sorry, I love the title. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much about as much as you're going to get, as the website seems to be lagging even harder now that you're
checking now. All right, let's go, guys. Pops his cord out and shimmies out from underneath
so what
the
was that
speeder.
all about? You find anything?
Yeah, let's just say we probably know more about this building where the bomb's being stored than the people who live there or guard there. And we might have found the way to keep the major from, does a little like neck motion.
I think you mean going and he does like an explosion, like
Semantics.
mimics a mushroom cloud and interesting.
Well, let's go get her a bomb so we can at least get on with finding Garen and finishing this fucking shit mission.
Well, you had me at bomb. And I start walking over.
Sounds good. As you walk northwest about 20 or so minutes, it's still decrepit. The air is stale. You can still feel some of the dust that's in the air. There's the occasional wind that howls in, but it's eerily quiet.
Yeah, Zizzo's, having done his research and whatnot, he's going to not necessarily take point, but he's going to use his different gear, his repulsor packs and whatnot, and get high, so he has basically an eye in the sky. And he's going to be stealthing while doing that, so he'll be using his stealth pack.
Sounds good. Yeah, this
Wouldn't
building
a droid be stealthier?
Not than Zizzo. Zizzo is very stealthy.
Yeah, this building is only like a 2-story building. It's not terribly tall.
Is there anything around it?
There is walls around it. There's also this rubble patch over here.
We can't see that.
Did I make a boo-boo with the lighting? Yes, I did. Try now. Yeah, towards the south end of the building, there's rubble. And you should be seeing this whole blueprint. You can see these are like the fermentation tanks.
Mm-hmm.
There's some sleeping area. This could be a monastery under a different set of circumstances.
Instead, it's a bombastery.
Well, there's a bomb in there, not that this place makes bombs.
Well, my point stands.
Yeah, but there's a door here.
Could have been a monastery that venerated alcohol. Could be Our Lady of Perpetual Consumption.
It's a Trappist monastery, but for high explosives.
Yeah, Zizzo will circle around the building and go to where the rubble is. Do you need me to make a stealth check or something?
To go around to the rubble?
Yeah.
No, there's nothing for you to really stealth around.
Okay.
Did you say this was like a 2-story building?
A 2-story building, yeah. The second story is more like the roof. The building is, I guess, 2 stories tall, but has 1 floor. There's the floor that you see currently, and there's the roof.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to, can I grapnel up to the roof?
Sure. You don't need to make a check. There's not really any time pressure on this.
All right.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
So, what do I see up on the roof?
It's a pretty bland looking roof. There's utilities. There's some railings. The railing's actually a really big surprise. And then there's
Didn't think the huts were big on occupational safety.
Yeah, then there's down here in the corner, or what's the corner on the west side of the building, there's looks like a hatch that might go down inside.
Interesting.
You hear the humming of the utilities, and you also definitely hear the humming of some of these tanks inside.
Do the utilities look like, is it like a generator?
Cooling tower. Really? Humidifier.
Okay, so nothing like had to do with the electrical grid of the building.
No.
Zan, Pike, anything you guys want to do?
Out of character, how big is this entire building? Like, what's medium range? What's large range? What's extreme?
Let me get a ruler. So I think short range from Zan would be around here. Halfway through the building would be short range. All the way across the building would be medium range. Medium range does encompass a lot of space, so.
Good news, you're still in range.
Yeah, says you're all part of that psychic. I'm gonna call it psychic network at this point.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, as you're Zan, as you're maintaining this battle meditation, you're starting to hear Pike's friend too. In fact,
yeah, that's fine.
Everyone's starting to hear Pike's friend on this battle meditation sphere. Zizza, for example, you definitely hear. So, what is this about a bomb?
What?
Oh wait, sorry, Zizza, you don't. That's right, because you burned the thing. My bad.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah,
healed him.
You purged it away for a bit.
All right,
I
the one
don't.
skeptic isn't cross.
Haha, you can't convert
Yes.
me.
No, I can't. But big boy, you definitely hear. So, why do you need this bomb?
Hello, conscience.
Why do I need any bomb? Speaking of which, improvise detonation check, please.
You know, I think you would have found enough stuff for that. Yeah, give me 2 purple, 2. I think it's 2 purple base, right?
Yeah.
I like the
Can you roll
concept
for
of,
me?
like, something from beyond the galaxy is going, so what's this about a bomb? And like big boy's action is, oh, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, what is this
black.
about a bomb?
Give me 3 black setback die to that check then.
Okay, so 2 purple.
It's dark. It's scavenging. Yeah.
2 purple, 3 black. Mechanics check. Okay. Would he get the 2 advantage from inside person?
For being on location?
Sure, let's make that happen.
And he'd get 2 success from battle meditation?
Yes.
Cool. 3 setback dice.
I initially picked up as a joke, and it's my biggest trump card that I'm only useful for now.
This has been such a great help.
It is so good.
Holy hell. All right, so it's twice mechanics plus intellect, or is it twice intellects plus mechanics? Yeah, it's twice mechanics plus intellect
Yeah.
plus successes, and then I can burn the advantage to give it a special quality.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I'm saying you could. Yeah, the advantage special quality is more of a. I think actually the advantage has a defined thing, or is it triumph that does a plus 2 damage?
The character can spend triumphs to increase the damage by an additional 2.
Cough, cough. Breach. Cough, cough.
Well, we don't have a triumph,
I
unfortunately.
think 2 advantage for something like breach might be a little excessive.
Yeah.
I'm spending it.
I forget. Can I use successes on the extra conditions, or is that just straight
No.
damage?
Just straight
Success
damage.
does straight damage. Advantage is
Okay.
more of like side fun stuff with
No,
this.
you're gonna have to ask Zizzo to change
that
your
case-
fortune if you want that.
Can I? No.
I think
no,
he might be
I
out
don't
of
think I need
range.
to burn that on that. But could I maybe throw on a burn quality? Like basically, I guess in universe it would be that there's a lot of scrap metal, and I found the components of thermite just lying around, and as we were walking, I was grinding it into dust.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I borrowed.
honestly, it's
I just,
skill and
what?
rust shavings, honestly.
yeah. I think it's aluminum and rust, so definitely
Yeah.
a lot of that around.
oh certainly, definitely down here.
Yeah, so I basically just mush it together, and it's I can deploy it as a.
Actually, out of curiosity, burn gel, does that use breach or pierce?
It uses pierce. If you're treating it if you need a damage profile for it.
Fair
Yeah.
enough, just curious.
I'm gonna snag a little bit of burn gel off of VOD, add a single drop as accelerant, and if possible, I'd like this to be breaching charge. Not that it has breach, but I can burn a large area very quickly, or
Okay.
if need be, I can just it'd be like having a thermite grenade for the explosion, but if I roll it out, it can be used as like a breaching charge. Would that be a fair use of advantage?
I think that'd be fair use. Yeah, the advantage is not you give it a burn quality, but that you could spend advantage on the check to more burn out a hole than vaporizing it.
Yeah, so it's
Be a
like
little quieter.
Yeah, that's mostly what I'm looking for.
Yep, I think 2 advantage. I think is reasonable.
Okay.
You have 5 ranks of powerful blast. This thing is insane. 24 blast rating.
That's basically a thermal detonator minus the breach.
Yeah. I think it's actually higher than thermal detonator for blast, but yeah. It's silly. All right.
But yeah.
Dan, actually, as you're hearing all this, you actually hear the sound of the banal infection. Why did you burn us from your friend? Why did you silence our voices? As everyone hears all of this.
Except Izzo.
In their heads. Except Izzo.
Sorry, just give me a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that doesn't sound like my conscience reminding. What do you call it? My inborn bomb reminder.
I was just getting a jug of water.
So
why is he's upset that I silenced what?
He is the Manal infection is upset that you silenced a part of the infection. Well, calling him an infection is already judgmental onto the character itself. But yeah, he's asking why did you damage part of us.
Out of character, I'm trying to remember the exact.
yeah, same here.
I think it was just the fact that Zizzo looked unwell.
Yes, Zizzo did have this grayish dark spot on his neck, as did all of you, but Zizzo's definitely more noticeable on it.
Aika's going to look over to Zan as the thing is speaking, and there's going to be no small deal of concern.
Like Zan is going to be like clipped and brief with this creature. In essence, he'll simply say, "I didn't know, and we didn't consent."
Can you delete that?
Yeah.
There, that's better.
Yeah, so Zan is honestly admitting that he didn't know it would affect him, but we didn't consent to what you were doing to us.
This one understands. This one, we want to be whole again.
Out of character lore-wise, what do I know for these creatures? What counts as being whole? Like having a body or hive mind.
What the player would know, or what Zan would know? Zan.
I know even less.
You know even less. Good. So when they were talking about in your previous reading about destroying civilizations, as more and more of the Manal get together, they still. I'm trying to find the best way of just verbally describing it. They could form. They could form like a more corporeal body, even though they're less of a. Oh, what's the characters from Deep Space Nine that are not solids?
Liquids.
Yeah, they're liquids. So Manal is still liquids, but Manal become it's almost like the Flood in Halo. They become significantly more intelligent as they become more whole together.
They're organic.
Yeah, they're kind of like Skaven as a collective group.
I was saying organic geth.
Oh, yeah, they're like organic geth.
Yeah.
A singular phenomenal infection or phenomenal parasite, however you want to call it. It's modestly
Symbiote.
intelligent. Yeah, symbiote.
Gray goop.
Mhm.
A little bit of goop might feel your emotions. As it gets bigger and more, is able to consume more resources from its host, to become more and more intelligent, such as speaking. From what the stories you've heard about this place called Mug Fallow, where they infest an entire planet, it is almost like a planetary supercomputer level of intelligence. And they hunger.
Give me a moment. I'm sort of briefing on how I would say it. Like, as like horrific as the thing is, like Zem diplomatically states, like, I have no concern with you reaching others of your own fellows, but I will not allow this to occur by stripping the life of others.
We do not wish to strip life, only to improve it. Should one be harmed from our occupation, that is something we do not wish. It is not symbiotic. Not like this one's connection. Like, as you feel a little bit tingling, it's going up and down right at the connection where the cybernetic arm is on your arm. A little bit tingling, like you hit your elbow against it.
Is it potentially trying to repair the arm?
You know, it does look like there is some sort of grafting that's going on. It does look like, instead of being a purely cybernetic arm, it looks somewhat like a wooden grafting cybernetic.
I remember
The
this.
Wait a
stylizing
second.
is like wood.
Hold on. So it's transforming the metal and the cybernetic into something that looks a lot more
Natural.
natural.
A lot more like you. Yes.
That's not good. Just now noticing that Pike is going to run his regular hand over the detail work. That's not what the arm looked like when I first got it.
No, it's not. It's
And yet, he doesn't sound happy about it. Maybe for those that you... Like, Zan struggles to say the word bond with. You seem to be doing so without concern or consent. And I've heard the stories of how you can strip will from others. Know and understand that if you are to do something like that, I will oppose you.
in a voice of Legion, you hear, "We understand." As this grafting that's going on in your arm, Pike, is slowly retreating away. What has already been grafted is still there, but you do not feel as if it. You do not feel of any new grafting attempt occurring as a result of it. It's retreating up to your shoulder.
Up to my shoulder, as in where the containing compartment was.
Yes.
Because I'm imagining, like, in where the bicep would be, there's the where the gray goo was originally deposited.
Yes.
So hold on. Darth Thirsty. No, wait.
No.
Yeah.
Nadir's Zen. Darth Thirsty.
Nadir's.
I have the only way. I am completely blanking on his name now. I can only remember.
Nadir's Zen, Darth Thirsty.
I can only remember the nicknames. Nadir, yeah. So Nadir originally put in the quote-unquote emotion of Dromund,
Mm-hmm.
which was this gray goo,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and replaced it with the nanites that are originally in there. So he put in this experimental gray goo into Pike to see what would happen. And then all these years later, he activated it, or this has always been the same thing?
Out of character, I've gotten the impression it's always been the same thing. It's just had like a chance to do things now a bit more.
On the other
Like,
hand,
your mind's been
Mhm.
offline for about 3 years. Like it's had a bit more time to free roam and understand who it's connected to.
firmware upgrade without your consent, like my Apple phone every night.
Remember how it also said, Zan also mentioned that as it grows in size, it also gets an increase in its intellectual complexity. So when you first got it, it basically was emotive. It could respond to emotions. It could do basic things like try and defend itself, like when Vodvab tried to purge it from your arm and shattered his toolbox. But now that it's had time to grow and evolve like a child, it's no longer screaming like a baby. Now it's expanded more in your arm, and also it's now speaking in words and speaking in thoughts. So you would have a logical conclusion. It would be a reasonable conclusion to say it's always been like that. And now it's dying on you that it's always been like that.
Oh, it's always been like that. Oh god, it's always been like that.
Which begs the question. Nadir, has been able to contact Pike through Galaxy. Wait a second, is Nadir also infected?
Remember how Madurai said in that dream that Nadir is not who he appears to be? We'll leave it vague like that.
To be fair, we also had one vision where, like, again, like the quote-unquote bad end is basically that we're all like horribly infected, have lost our will, and like Nadir is like, I knew it would come to this, and igniting a lightsaber, and then the vision ends. So he has enough will to oppose it. I wouldn't say he's the same thing.
And from your research, Zian, as you had an excellent knowledge check for that, the Manal Manal's a liquid, not a solid. It doesn't really form itself into a solid being too well, too long. It actually looks like a solid being. It'd rather infect and use someone as a puppet than,
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes, very similar concept. Very similar concept.
Yeah, so Zen is basically like stated like the ground rules, and like for now this thing seems to have agreed, but like Zen is like very much like, I don't mind you like rejoining your culture, I don't, but you will not do it by like stripping our wills, burning our lives, and taking away our free will. Just all that, no. Whether it plays nice is the bigger question.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, meanwhile, you're starting to, Zizzo's bringing a microdroid listener, uploading blueprints.
Yep.
Yeah, you get a
Anyway,
sense there's somebody in here.
So, for the record, like Zan has gone and said all that stuff.
Mhm.
He isn't aware that the others, save Zizzo, can hear it though.
Reasonable.
Just character-wise, I'm putting that out there.
For a destiny point, I'm not sure to make it happen, or at least make the attempt.
Okay.
Pike is gonna ask, instead of doing a couple surface level changes to the arm, could you maybe fix it a little bit? It was a little bit hurt before.
You're asking this the Manal inside of you?
He is asking the symbiote. Yes.
You
For
can
a
flip
destiny
Destiny
point.
point. Yeah, it will fix the arm for a Destiny point. You hear it say, "We would be glad to make you repair, to fix what is broken." As you start seeing the techno-organic...
Like Zen utters the arm. Just the arm.
Only... you hear the symbiote respond, "Only the arm." As the techno-organic grafting now starts accelerating, and your arm is no longer, the mechanical gizmos that it once was. Now it looks like a natural arm that you had.
Well, shit.
Before you shut it off. Except now it's more gray in coloration. But it looks as if you almost never lost the arm all those years ago.
Like later on, Zen is
it's a Faustian interpretation.
Yes, which is sort of a bit why Zen is like, here's the particular condition. Don't just say, "Can you fix me?" Because that could mean a lot of things, especially if you're a pet.
Yes.
Okay.
So the +1 brawn component is now repaired on the arm.
Yay, I have met 7 brawn again.
Chunky.
This one is
on
pleased.
Monkey 13.
We are pleased.
Okay, well, that's... Pike doesn't know how to feel about this, but his arm is feeling okay, so...
Your arm's feeling great.
That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow Pike's problem.
Zen is certainly anxious about the everything, but his good nature basically is that it seems to be agreeable to the situation in front of it, and it doesn't seem to be making things worse. As long as that state of affairs continues, Zen is willing to let it be. It's just Zen is worried that it can get worse in the future. But part of him is wondering, maybe it's just no one's ever talked to it before and tried to actually, communicate and understand it. Zen is pretty unique in his own really smart/dumb way. Smart dumb.
It's very Jedi-like and very unique to actually try to be compassionate to someone who is generally perceived as the embodiment of evil, depending who you ask.
Yes. Basically. Again, kind in that, willing to take the approach. Dumb in that he's willing to take the approach. Again, depending on your point of view.
All right.
From my point of view, the mechanical arm is evil. So it's at this point that Big Boy looks up from the bomb he's been making, notices Pike's arm.
In on the conversation the entire time.
No, it's just in his head. All he's just saying the monkey bomb from Call of Duty Zombies. It's just that clapping as he's making the bomb.
Okay, gotcha.
He looks up oh, what the fuck? What the hell happened there?
For better or worse, I'm just going to assume Von Vab is completely unconcerned. In his own intrigued but amoral aspect of himself.
The entire time he's like, "Be free, my pretties, be free until I call upon you." As he's releasing mouse droids along the entire
Yes, and I'm pretty sure he's probably still mad, broke my stupid toolbox years ago. I'm not giving for that. Meanwhile, over on the other side of the building, we have Zizzo with the microdroid listener. And you've been doing a pathing protocol to live scan the building.
Yep. Yeah, just based on the schematics, he's pathing it through, shadowy areas where there aren't light. He's just trying to get a read of sounds, and because again, it's not visual. It's just a hollow. It's just a recording, but he's just trying to get an idea of where something might be. So, and kind of, finishes programming it, hits a few functions, and you see the light. The thing kind of whir to life, and little feet kind of start skittering off, and it skitters off into the building.
As it's skittering off in the building, the summary you get is there are about 8 objects creating sound inside, plus a particularly vigorous tank being active.
So in this main section here?
In this main section inside the building, correct. And this tank seems to be oscillating between very quiet and very loud.
Okay.
The other beings inside are approximately the same size.
Is it able to get
there
any...
might be
Oh, sorry.
Any like... What?
Oh, I was just trying to think, like, so it's gonna basically paths around this way. Is this door? Can you see my path? I can't.
Yeah, I can see your path.
Is this door open?
Let's say the door is not open.
Okay, so it's gonna find that, find it's not open, and again, just stick into shadows. This door
closed.
Okay. Yeah, and it'll kind of spin its way around and just come on back.
Sounds good. Yeah, there's also some kind of object in here as well. A sizable object. It seems to be blocking some of the sound from the beings inside.
And so kind of calms everybody quietly. We got eight somebodies and a really noisy tank in here. Big boy, how's your breaching protocol working?
Silent and well, actually, you give up quite a bit of deadly if you're going for silent, but it's good.
I just wonder if we can get a drop on these guys. It's not there's quite a few entrances.
Did you say drop?
Why, in fact, I did.
I'd like to remind people that Big Boy is currently on the roof.
Yep. Zizzo just like.
I would also like to remind that this is the person who saved you from Narkrita years ago, and you're gonna drop a bomb on him, probably.
Wait.
What? We did. What?
No.
Sorry, who's inside here? Roger? You mean Roger's in here?
Yeah, so the Major implied that Roger's going to be in here, and then Casey also mentioned that Roger basically brought your bodies off of Narkrita.
Okay. See, I think I understood it as this was like the place where Roger stored it. I didn't think we'd expect to see Roger here.
Gotcha,
so we had a reasonable backing up a little bit in everyone's minds. We have a reasonable what's the word? Reasonable estimation that Roger might actually be here, so we came in here. Although plan B is
I'm going to use a bit of a meta plan actually. Because we're technically one, we're in good terms with Roger, and two, like Zen and Roger had a communicationally working relationship, and he has his comm. I'd like to comm Roger on the old comm that I got 3 years ago.
All right. Hello?
Roger, is that you?
Zan? You actually woke up? Whew.
Indeed, thanks to you.
So, if I'm hearing you this constantly, you must be pretty close then.
Indeed, we have come to collect the item that the Major requires. Would you be willing to come outside?
It might be easier if you came inside. It's a little more room here, and, well, you'll see when you get inside.
Fair enough. In that case, I'll ask you to open the front door if you would be so kind.
Door opens. Yeah, take the second left. Just, prepare your eyes.
It'll be good to see you again. See you in a moment. And Zen ends the call.
Big Boy's just leaning over the edge of the roof. Wait, we going in the normal way? What?
Friendlies here.
Ah, God, I was really looking forward to using this. He repels down.
Like Zen in almost like very like sort of deadpan statement is, "Don't worry, the night's still young."
Zizzo activates his optical camo and sneaks in through the back.
And also like Zan's just going to simply advise Zizzo as well.
Yeah, Zizzo knows, but he's still
Okay,
going in stealth.
Yeah, you
That's
can
fine.
stealth it through the back. That's fine. After a quick knocking.
Zizzo can do his thing, but yeah, Zan is going to be the, himself. He's going to be like, yes, okay, like all that. He literally opened the front door for us. I'm going to trust what's going on here, and Zan simply enters.
Sounds good. As everyone kind of crosses through this threshold, several things become immediately apparent. The first thing that you see when you cross in here is you see Roger along with some random people, his 2 bodyguards, but then your eyes are immediately trained on this tank filled with hydrazine infused colto.
And
you never
Chief Rasko?
Is that Chief? Yeah.
You ever Chief Rasko all those years ago that you gave to him?
Yeah, we did.
There is some kind of burn gel hydrazine torture mechanism in here. Basically, he would get a part of his body burn gelled off, and then, as if right in front of you, with all the hydrazine and colta flowing around, the body repairs itself as if it regrows an appendage like a Trandoshan.
He's the bomb.
Maybe? Question mark?
Maybe. And then...
Or maybe it's just this elaborate way to get, like, a conversation out of him. I don't know.
Then you finally see this container down here on the floor. It's about twice... It's about, like, 1.5 big boys. It's sizable.
Big boys.
It's sizable, but not massive.
So big squared.
Big squared. So as you're walking in, I think, yeah, Zizzo, oh, you're going up onto the crate?
Yeah, he's just stealthed and being up on this crate, getting a vantage point at what he can see.
When you can see. You can see something similar. You see a Bothan, a human, an Elam, a Godel, and a Celestin.
For the record, between me and Rasko is like the wall here.
So this is not a wall. This is more like a what are they called? You put stuff on it.
Shelving. Bookshelf.
Shelving. It's shelving, but there's not much on the shelving. You can see right through it. And then this is just a packaging line. You feed stuff. Essentially, all these tanks will feed into this main tank, and then this main tank distributes into glass bottles, which then gets shipped and packaged on this little conveyor belt.
Oh my god. They're sapping the cocaine from Chief Rasko's blood.
My goodness, I'll be in production for centuries.
Chief Rasko looks like he's just recovering in a tank, much like Luke was in Bacta. But you definitely see the apparatus of this burn gel system.
Wait, we don't see it. We don't see it played out.
You don't see it played out. You're seeing his arm regrow. And that's what you're watching right now.
For the record, like at a character, like when we left Chief Rasko, he was like whole. He didn't have an arm missing then, did he?
I think you had him whole.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Like I'm pretty sure, like he survived his assault and he.
Oh, he was alive and drugged out when you gave it to him.
He just passed out like unconscious after Zizzo like zapped him through the groin.
Yes.
Which I had to medically advise him of the shortest path of resistance. From a purely medical perspective.
The organics in this room look rather just exhausted in general. Mm-hmm. And Roger is looking at the tank, and then he hears you walk in. It's good to see some friendly faces around here.
It's good to
Hey,
see.
Roger.
Ugh.
Like Zan will he's still got this of the smile bit on his face, but he is confused that Chief Rasco's here and doesn't understand the lack of arm, but he certainly trusts Roger a lot more than several other people in his life at this point, so he in short presumes there's an explanation, and maybe that'll be offered, or maybe he'll ask it later, but for now it's being politely ignored like some odd uncle at a banquet.
Meanwhile, on the other hand, hey, Roger. Is that Chief Rasco? That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I was curious, but I wasn't going to pry.
Big boy is
Zan-
definitely gonna pry.
As you're looking at it, you also notice on the glass, you see some markings on it. Manufactured on Burgess about 8 years ago.
Out of character, I'm assuming those dates lined up with the other campaign.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was curious what the glass would ever be used for.
Torture. That's what it was used for.
Hey, we don't know that. We
Yeah.
just walked in.
Yeah, old Dictor would not have cared.
Dick did not have cared. It's this guy killed his brother.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's been
So,
time. You know, I would have thought to see the one man who gave me nothing but suffering for the better part of a decade and a half. To see him suffer, I thought that would have given me closure. It has done nothing but deepen the wound.
well, that's usually how revenge goes. It's funny. We were just talking to the Major about that.
The Major?
Yeah, she kind of the reason we're here, actually. Aside from thanking you for saving our lives, that was pretty cash money of you.
Hold on, the Major, as you see the Major, as there's a little spark that flies off the back of Roger's head.
Yeah, about yay high, wearing shiny armor, has a couple.
No, I know who you're talking about. I saw Marvin Executor on Narkrita.
Wait, hold up. Ah, shit! This is a trap, isn't it?
Zan will raise an eyebrow and then go for the first part. This, yeah. Sorry, out of character. Just give me a short moment to remember the phrase of how it's said.
Sounds good.
Yeah. For the first part, suffering onto others does not become a balm onto your own suffering. As for the second, we certainly encountered someone that looked, sounded like the Major and had a squad with her.
Ah, goddamn! This is definitely a trap.
Zizzo hops down and reveals himself with a data pad in hand. Yeah, they look kind of like this. And he shows off his recording of them doing their hand signals.
Roger is very intensely looking at the data pad.
What do you know? Oh, hey, by the way, your security sucks.
Security through obscurity. Not the best.
Are you still optically camoed?
No, he dropped it.
He
basically just appeared. He just appeared next. He just appeared next to Roger in front of everybody.
Kid.
Yeah, you can break into any security system you want, Zizzo. I don't think that's going to be any issue from you, as he's just looking at the playback of the Major and his troops, and her troops.
So if the Major's dead, who's this?
Depends.
You hear the whirring. You hear the whirring on Roger's body as he's trying to process it.
So turns to all the other organics. Oh, hey, how you guys doing?
The human speaks up. Whew. Just staying alive, It's yeah. We're almost out of here. We're almost out of here.
Christ, this is definitely a trap. We're so fucked. Why did we believe the maid? We haven't seen her in 5 years. Big Boy's just like pacing around, muttering to himself, like improvising defenses and that kind of thing. It's like, God damn it, why do we trust that lady ever?
Hold on. Roger kind of looks closer onto the data pad. Could you make that a little bit bigger? Pointing towards the head of the major.
That's a couple commands. Big word. Enhance!
The only explanation I can think of is Marvin shot her in the head. And then like a holofilm villain just didn't look at the body.
Did she have a helmet on when she shot her in the head?
Cyberpunk.
Zen proposes us like sort of an idea in the sense of like, well, in short, there's two ways. Either it was her or it wasn't her. If it was her, then perhaps she survived. But if it wasn't her, well, she was in the employ of the Rascos. What are the chances that a clone of her was made for public execution and shown?
You know, we might be onto something there.
She worked with them long enough. I can't imagine she'd be so pissed off she'd want to blow up their factory.
The Majors had their own odd sense of personal justice.
Well, there's not too much to worry about it. She was helping us for a bit, trying to get you all off-world. That was, If B1 Baldrick could start having a depressed face, it would have a depressed face. That was, you see him shaking his head. That was the longest day of my life.
Yeah, we can go
Years.
down. We can go down memory lane another time. Who's this with her? Who's the troopers? You recognize them?
No, I've never seen them before. That's disconcerting.
They don't have any insignia on them at all.
Well, how much stock do you believe in conspiracy theories?
Got us the blueprints to this place.
Well, I've heard rumors that, well, these troopers are some form of immortal soldier. Clones, some other method. They don't work for the corporate sector, they don't work for the Hutts, they don't work for the New Republic.
So you think
Guess
it's
they're true stateless terrorists?
So you think this is her?
At this point, if I had to put credits to it, I think she survived.
Oh, thank fuck it's not a trap.
Zen sort of rubs his chin for a bit. Adam gives a tiny bit of meta knowledge, and in character, Zen's going to say, Zizzo, by chance, did you send any email to the old address that the Major used 3 years ago? Like, after our conversation, would you try to send anything to their inbox?
Like after the destruction of Narkrita? Because I know I sent her messages before everything was destroyed.
Yeah, so like meta-wise, I'm talking about the email that you sent just before about specializing now in plumbing.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
But the selling point is that even if he didn't know about that, basically it's like, because one way to identify if it would be the Major is if you would be able to detect that if an email was sent recently, has the message been read? With that in mind, if you could send an email off to that same email address and it gets read, it's realistically going to be the Major.
Oh, link them up for comm information from 3 years ago to now. I mean, people change their comm info a lot, but it might work.
She comes off as... I have a hunch that she's the type of person that's going to keep their email.
Yeah, she probably had one of the first ones and got a good name and doesn't want to give it up. Yeah, I get that.
Still, I remember back in more like corp days that emails certainly could be read, and the receiver would know when they were read, and your boss would never get off your back if you didn't read up to a certain amount per day, but I digress. Is the selling point that you should be able to tell if an email that you sent got read?
Yeah, does a check read receipt on his message? Does he have
Yes.
HoloNet
I think
access
that's
here?
reasonable. I think that's reasonable. Looks like the email's been read.
Well, whoever it is, they got the message.
I doubt the Major was sharing their stuff too widely, considering how much sensitive info may have gone through there. It's certainly, what do you say, text call it? Data point in her favor?
Sure. We gotten burned before, Zan.
True, but the selling point is that this Major didn't expect us to back them up and was expecting to likely die in the assault that's to happen. But the question can only now be at this point, are they genuinely going through with this assault, or do they just want Roger's bomb for another purpose?
That's exactly what I'm worried about. That this is...
Why did the NPCs just do it?
So I need to rename them, because I originally named them like Human 1, and now I'm giving them an actual name.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's...
So, Isopara.
Yeah, that's my worry, Zan. Is we're gonna be given... What is this, a 30 kiloton bomb to, what, a jelly clone?
Zan's going to think back and add a character. I'm going to quickly check to see if I have a particular talent or not.
My social skills consist of, negotiations have turned aggressive.
Smash.
Well, one, there is actually a talent for that, funnily enough, but I don't have it personally on Zan. Two, the talent that I was thinking of isn't the one that I was planning, but I know Shred for a Destiny point. You can choose to remember a scene that occurred.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable use of Destiny Point. It's like Deus Ex Machina.
So, in the sense that basically the group gets perfect recall of the scene. Was there anything of that scene that basically would give enough information to decide if that was the Major or wasn't the Major? Stuff that might have been said there in that conversation that only would have made sense if that was the same Major, stuff like that.
Yes, let me finish this active data stuff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you spend a Destiny Point, based on her body language and just based on her cordial business relationship in this particular vendetta. So let's talk about cloned memories for a second, right? It's much like a computer. Based on your knowledge of how the Rascos clone stuff from Draxel, based on what you know of their cloning program there. From that knowledge, you generally understand, much like a computer, you basically need to have like a saved state of knowledge that you basically pull from archive and then you imprint on someone.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a clone, so how she described it was pretty much right before Narkrita got bombed, that she basically became persona non grata to the Rascal Syndicate and the Hutts. If she was a clone, it would have to mean that she would have to have, and based on Roger saying that she died on Narkrita, that somehow she must have made a backup right before or right after that incident, somewhere off-world where she could eventually access it, but somehow the Rascals never knew at a single point. From there, get a separate body, have someone else with a separate body, then be a blank template, then use a flash memory program, upload the flash memory, somehow get possessed by the far outsiders to make sure the flash memory didn't make the person insane. And then you're asking someone with the far outsiders who also have the technology to basically hijack him, make him stupid. Like brain dead stupid. Like can't form coherent sentences stupid.
Damn,
And
even
then-
the Far Outsiders has a DMV for cloning and clone jacking.
There's a lot of like really convenient.
Like-
The circumstances for it to be a clone require a lot of coincidences that become less and less likely as you logically realize, hold on, so this would have to work and this would have to work, and it has to work in this very specific manner, such that she still would have a vengeance against the Rascos, even though her flash memory would be from a Rasco facility. And then she would need to be smart enough yet stupid enough at the same time to do this. And then somehow not be detected this entire time.
Fair enough.
And also have
Yeah.
no sense of self-preservation
There
because she
could be
wants to
different
die.
reasons. But these out of character, I'm having trouble finding out where I flip destiny points.
The
You-
bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a light and dark. If you just click on the token, it'll
Oh,
flip it.
God.
There you go.
That is so much easier compared to trying to look through my sheet 6 times over.
Isn't it? So yeah, the logical deduction is that there would be so many very specific. The scenario for her to be a clone, especially like a Rascal clone, requires such a specific set of circumstances that it's so complex. It would just be easier. It'd be simpler, Occam's razor.
Yeah.
Given how she's acted the same, it's simpler to say she survived being shot to the head.
Anyway,
Looks
so
like a duck. If it smells like a
like-
duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
Yes.
like that'll be like just a takeaway after basically Zan has like a pseudo Batman moment where he goes, "Oh, actually, by this, therefore, if it was this, this, which is unlikely, therefore this."
But what's a duck?
Depends
Here
on what
Naboo
planet
has-
you're on.
I hear Naboo has ducks.
Are they actually canon?
It's either a duck or a goose that's canon. I forgot which. I want to say it's a duck.
Story
Get
here.
the GM, make
the-
up. You can choose.
The
You
duck
can have
is
both
canon.
if you want. The duck is canon. Yes, fair enough. Duck is canon.
So what do we do now then?
Well, if it realistically is the major, then we would want to have their assault succeed, and ideally for them to continue living.
What, she's gonna attack something?
Out of character at that point, Zan will basically start explaining what is about to happen to Roger, and how they have a timeline of, and we have 6 hours to do that. Well, 5 hours and 40 minutes now. Wait, 5:30 now.
Zizzle will call Big Boy over and be like, "Hey, Big Boy, come look at this bomb."
Before you get too crazy about that,
Oh no.
you see this hologram pop
Oh,
up.
God.
With discount
No!
RAM. Hey, nobody be touching my bomb, okay? Not until you give me money, especially you. I
Fucking.
want to sell this bomb to you.
Is this
Who in the
discount? is this
goddamn
dis-
hell are you?
It's
You don't
fucking
know me?
It's fucking Discount Dan.
Oh, he
See?
died.
He knows me. No,
I
that was an insurance fraud scheme. Totally legal.
I am annoyed that I know you. I wish I didn't. What?
Good Sir Dan, or do you go under a different name now?
Hologram Howard?
Yeah, that's a good name. But yeah, no. I'm still Dan. Always have been. Always will be. His finger guns.
S-
Look,
Resisting
gonna
urge to do them back. Sorry.
look. He's looking back to his. I'm gonna level with you. If I don't get money for this bomb, I'm gonna blow it up right here, right now.
That's a bold
Okay.
claim. Roger, why do you have a bomb you don't own?
Because this bomb was going to Marvin. Yeah, and Marvin should be the one purchasing it. Unless this fine squid wants to purchase it. Then I'm okay with that.
Oh, discount, Dan. What is the price that you're suggesting?
Well, this kind of looks like a ramshackle, I don't know who decided to set this place up. Looks like a piece of shit if you ask me. Fracking hellhole. Discount Dan's running a great special today. 500 credits. Okay? Sound good?
Out of character, you just said 500, that's it?
500, like pennies on
500,000?
No,
Just
500.
So is Discount Dan looking at Zan now?
I'm gonna say yes. Like, it makes sense that, like... And then, you know what? Like, for fun, I'm gonna go, like... Actually, I'm gonna read, like, just Discount Dan a bit. Like, would he enjoy the idea of me haggling the price, or would he just be too pissed off?
I think he would enjoy haggling the price.
You see Zizzo you see Discount Dan's hologram turn to you. You see Zizzo nod and just do like the keep him talking motion. And I'm gonna jack into this thing and try to get him out of this.
At the same height. God damn it!
I want him. I want to slice him out of this bomb.
And fair enough, like, I don't mind you doing that, but the irony is that, like, even if you succeed in doing that, Zen will probably pay the price regardless, because he's that kind of fellow. But Zen's gonna go and is like, and I've always appreciated your straightforwardness and business, and I look forward to extending future opportunities in the future. With that in mind, and he starts the haggling process of like, well, if we're going to be talking more in the future for more good customer relations, how about we consider, and he starts sort of haggling of like, first lowering the price, then maybe of like, oh, okay, well, if not that, then he'll go for the idea of, or maybe you could throw in this at a later date, and we can have something shipped here, stuff like that. In short, he's trying to build a contact, and he's having a bit of fun with haggling because he hasn't been able to do it for 3.5 years.
This
ask
point,
him for a Baradium judge.
my brain is the GM's thinking is like, is this a charm check or negotiation? It could be either. What do you want to be, Zan? Are you more negotiating for the price, or are you more just trying to be charming and trying to convince him to give it up to you? How's your angle?
So, out of character, they're exactly the same checks.
All right, well, it'll matter for him whether he's opposing it by cool or opposing it by negotiation.
Which one does he suck at more?
His cool's not as good as his negotiation. He is a businessman, after all.
Fair enough. Then, and to be fair,
But he's a really cool guy.
Yes and no. Like, anyway, but the selling point is that Zen's prerogative has been more that he wants to try to win people over more than just save a few bucks. So I'm willing to say, like, yes, it makes sense that this would be leaning more towards charm regardless.
Yeah, give me a 3 purple, 1 red, 2 black charm check. While you're doing that, Zizzo...
Free purple.
Yeah, 3 purple, 1 red, 2 black charm check.
2 purple.
It's a little bit harder to
red,
negotiate by
2 black.
hologram than by person.
Okay.
And would he get the 2 advantage from inside person?
I'll let the GM make that call.
That's what I was asking.
I think it would, from the talent perspective. I'm just trying to understand the So mechanically, yeah, that would absolutely work. I'm just trying to understand the narrative of how inside person would work with this. Maybe like you find a place with better lighting.
Yeah, sure, why not? Like,
yes.
Sure.
We'll go with that angle.
Yeah, then you can add the 2 advantage as well.
Sweet.
Okay, sure. Alright, and for once in my life, I'm going to remember to actually have my Cascader on to give me an upgrade.
Yes.
For once! And then...
Does a 2 success from the battle meditation affect you or only your allies?
Me and my allies, for all checks. Like, it's good in that regard. My one thing I can do well. Speaking of which, how well do I do now?
I want to say it's only for your allies and not you, but I'm not 100%. We'll treat it as part of you. Yeah, I like it. we definitely should do more business in the future. What do you say? I'm willing to drop the price a bit. $250. How's that sound to you? And then, we can work out some future deals. I don't know, you like fruit? Give you a fruit basket?
Sounds lovely. I'll have to take you up on that offer, though. I won't be on this planet for overtly long, but I'll grab your comm code. And speaking of which, what's your account? I'll have to get this wired to you.
Yeah,
Zan is literally in the process. He doesn't care if Zizzo does it or doesn't at this point. Like, he's working up a business relationship, and it doesn't matter either way.
Yeah, he tells you, Trans-ID and shipping, account number, and he lists out an account number.
Yep. Anyway.
Meanwhile, Zizzo.
Yes.
Yeah, Zan goes and wires off the money and makes the transaction regardless, as mentioned previously.
Yes. Meanwhile, Zizzo, give me a 5 purple computers check with 3 failures attached to it.
5 purple.
Purple, 3 failures.
Interesting. All right.
Now, you have things in your favor.
I do.
Unmatched fortune, so don't spend destiny until you need to for unmatched fortune.
5 purple and 3 failure. And we have 2 success from battle meditation, 2 advantage from insight person.
Discount Den has one hell of a tech on his payroll, clearly. if it's doing 5 purple difficulty stuff on it. Like,
It's
right. Holy cow.
It's a black market nuclear warhead. I'm just gonna leave that there.
Get wrecked, Discount Dan.
Oh yeah. Anyways, I'm looking forward to.
Fucking God. I was sick of that guy 3 years ago. Anyway, congratulations. We are now the fine owners of a nuclear warhead.
Well, hold on. That guy's a bit of a swindler. Let me take a look at that.
Sure.
I got the actuators all wrong.
Really? You really don't trust me?
Well, not you, but no offense, you're not exactly a demolitions expert.
Yeah, but
you're more of a typey firewall, hack in the mainframe, bypass security. Oh no, the lava walls are up. Actuate the. I can't slice. Anyhow,
you think he actually put in mechanical failsafes? Who does that nowadays?
I don't think
it's a nuclear warhead. You need mechanical failsafes.
Yeah, just I've already did a Geiger counter scan.
From a very basic, even very basic knowledge check, Zan would blink and going you do realize nuclear weaponry has to go for a very certain circumstances to work correctly?
Well, yeah, I more meant Discount Dan having mechanical failsafe so he could access it from a distance.
Him? No. People that he would boarded off during the fall of a particular planet? Yes.
Anyhow, out of my way. I rip open the side panel.
His quality is not indicative of the quality of the product before us.
We're gonna nuke ourselves.
Can I make just
before too much goes ahead, those successes and advantage, what do those mean?
That's a good question. Yeah, you definitely just cut him off right in the middle. He ain't coming back. You got some advantages.
But yeah, for what it's worth, again, Zan has literally sent off the money, and if anything happens, he'll literally play it as a communication failure. It's sorry to hear that we lost your call, but here's your money anyway.
Yeah, I would just say the 5 advantage and 4 success is Zizzo is comprehensive in his basically takeover of the electronic security system. The thing is unlocked. Any sort of electronic failsafes have been basically bypassed. He is in control of them now. Yeah.
Treg, I have something I must request from you.
Please.
When that bomb goes off, I want a hello message of yourself just laughing as it explodes.
Yep. Oh yeah. He's put his own little he's got a from years ago he had a little decal that a friend of his made for him, which is a laughing little squib, and yeah, he's got it on there with red carpet services.
Sorry, I just love that mental image so much that I had to ask.
Oh, for sure. Shred, can I
Anyway.
do that for 4 successes and 5 advantage?
Oh yeah, you can have the laughing thing. You want to be a skull face of a squib? I'll let you have a skull face.
Sure, why not? That's edgy.
Oh come on, that's what hacker.
Oh yeah.
Like,
You know
when
that's
you were
hacker.
younger,
Oh,
you
I
were
know.
probably were that edgy.
Oh, 100% he was. Yeah, that's why I
So
said
like the
yes.
Independence Day laughing skull, laughing Jolly Roger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly. If you know it's a skull face and a hacker, you're done. You are done.
Skullface. Skullface.
Skullface. Oh, he just
Skullface,
tried to log out of his email.
Skullface with 2 dancing Twi'leks on either side. There you go. Boom.
Anyway, okay. I'm done. Everyone else go ahead.
Anyway, so I'd like to walk over and I'm assuming Zizzo, now that he's in like the electronic controls for the bomb, he just pops open the hatch.
Oh yeah. He's like,
Yeah, so I just go rifling around. Say, yeah, look at this. The payload. What do you call it? Yeah, what's that like secondary explosion that activates the that kickstarts a nuclear reaction?
Oh yeah, the conventional explosive that kickstarts it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this thing. This isn't even detonite. What the hell is he using here?
It's beradium.
It's
It's
some good shit.
It's a very high quality black market nuke, which they're definitely not supposed to have. But wink, wink, they lost it 20 years ago.
God damn! This fall off a New Republic truck. Man, it's got good shit. Like Big Boy's actually impressed. Like, oh, this is a fine piece of hardware. I take back my reservations. This rollback Ricardo seems to know what he's doing.
mind unpausing the game, or you have it paused for a reason?
Oh no, I don't know why I had it paused.
Probably
That was
bumped your
my bad.
space bar.
Yeah, I probably did. But yeah, these are definitely how can I put it this way? They're supposed to be lost, they're supposed to be recovered for the corporate sector for future use. These black market nukes are basically untraceable. The modern corporate nukes basically use a version of hyperfuel to make them last longer, but they're easily detected. These don't use the hyperfuel, so they don't last as long. But they're also easy to sneak around, which is why they're able to sneak a nuke on Narkrita's surface. Because they lost the nuke to the droids, wink wink, and then, oh, the droids are having an uprising. We need to put local security forces on this territory. Oh, we need to make sure there's security in the territory. And we'll let the droids, who were started the rebellion, also keep the world. Oh no, we're so sorry.
Zizzo walks over and like pats Roger on the back. He kind of reaches up and pats him on the back. You know, you should get yourself a tech specialist so you don't have to, have me come save your ass from discount fucking Dan.
His head is leaning down in a very depressed manner.
You lost a lot of your bravado. What's going on with you? What did Marvin take more from you than?
It was decades of planning unraveled in minutes. The revolution was supposed to be relatively peaceful.
Coordinated but peaceful.
He hijacked it and put gasoline on the fire.
What's gasoline?
Petroleum.
He put it.
Oh, okay.
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
hydrazine, but worse.
Oh, it's that old stuff. Okay, yeah. Sorry, history books were my specialty.
Not every droid agreed with him, but enough did, and now that world's... I feel sorry for those who still have to live in that world. And
I don't think there's too much living going on that world right now.
No, they still are. Terrible servitude.
Well,
I guess I started it, in a way.
Well, if it cheers you up, once we get out of this hellhole, I'm planning to start I wouldn't call it a convent,
Tails always wanted to have a pod racing gig. I think it might make sense to get one off world, and you could come join us. And any of your, tin pot friends who ain't feeling like sticking around corporate worlds.
I appreciate the offer, but I'm already setting up a haven for droids out near Kessel.
They
That's
interested
where
in
I'm
pod
training.
racing?
I'm sure some are. Do you want a pod racing circuit in that area?
Well, why not?
Hey, you could call it the Kessel Run.
That's catchy. I like it.
Roger looks up and he's actually happy-ish for the first time in a while. Well, for now, as you see the other people in the room, they're starting to pick up crates and starting to move stuff. Well, you have the bomb now, I guess. You'll deliver to her. I got a shuttle ready to take us off world. We're gonna scream by Varl, then go up to Kessel. So, I don't know if you need to pitch a ride anywhere between here and Kessel.
Yeah, we might have some business on joining you, so...
Well, he takes out a data pad and he punches in some quick coordinates to send to your data pad. Meet us here. Here's where our shuttle's at. It's a little busted up, but she still flies. You'll see us loading stuff. Come on, let's get it rolling. You see these guys just started to move crates and starting to move on out.
Sizzle has a weird expression, a bemused expression on his face. You see his eyebrows kind of going up and down. He's kind of stares down at his hands, at his paws. He's kind of looks up at Roger as he's walking away. He just kind of turns and starts shaking his head, walking away from the bomb as Big Boy starts doing his thing and checking the whole thing out.
I'm just like, I'm so impressed. I'm just caressing it. It's like, ooh, Visa likey.
Speaking of, what were you about to do to the bomb, Big Boy?
I don't think I gotta do nothing. This here's a fine piece of machinery.
So was I right? There weren't no mechanical fail-safes?
Oh, there are. There's plenty. It's a nuclear warhead, Zizzo. It's like nuclear warhead 101. There's always mechanical fail-safes. That's...
Discount Dan fail-safes.
I think he got
Can
it
I
from...
actually...
Big Boy.
Could I make like a mechanics check to see if there's anything like off about it? Because like the internals seem good, but like Zizzo said, in case there's any unexpected factors.
Yeah, 20 years worth of decay, perhaps.
Give me 2 purple, 2 black mechanics check, as you're expecting it.
Can you roll that for me?
I'm on it. 2 purple, 2 black mechanics.
Yep.
2 success, 2 advantage, 2 purple, 2 black. Roll. Oh yeah. Those successes were important.
2 success, 9 advantage, 1 triumph.
Man, look at those setback dice.
Yeah, as far as discount Dan fail-safes, so there's a computer on there, and it pretty much looks like it got glued on to the bomb. It got wired in eventually, yes, but honestly, if you just snapped off the computer, it's like, oh.
I just like pluck it off with 2 fingers in disgust and just like try to brush away the glue residue. It's like, gumming up the works.
Gumming up the works.
But with that triumph, I don't suppose I can maybe make a modification to it.
Fine modification.
That's a how many advantage was used to like just remove the computer, as it were?
I'd say like 3. You snapped it off.
There's still a chunk of advantage first.
Got so much advantage.
Yeah, so 6 advantage and 1 triumph. I'm thinking something we can maybe do to help out the major.
Okay, yeah. So let's say if we can alter the bomb in a certain way, what would help the major?
A
What would
time
help?
delay.
Technically, yes, but at the same
A
same time,
tamper-proof.
Time delay works 2 ways, right? Because if it's a time delay, someone might have the ability to defuse the bomb while that's happening.
A
That's why the
tamper-proof
major-
time delay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, if we make it so that once it's the countdown started, it can't be stopped, and any attempt to stop it will prematurely set it off.
Okay, I can dig it. Yeah,
something like
I think it'd be reasonable for combining the pulling the advantage to
The
have the
6
two
advantage and a
Double
triumph.
edged.
yeah for the 2 effects, right? One effect of it being once you start it, it can't be stopped, and if any attempts of tampering it do occur, it will prematurely detonate.
That is such a double-sided blade.
yes, but
And if I have any advantage at all left, I would like to take. I'm assuming there's a key or something, like some sort of, I don't know.
the nuclear unlocking key.
Yeah, basically like the arming mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take out that module. Just for now.
So it's like always armed, or
No, like
Disarming it right now.
as in like it can't be activated at all at the moment.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think it's reasonable. Combine all that in the
Yeah.
advantage and triumph.
So
So how is it going to be armed by the major at the site?
I
gonna
will
give
give it to her so that it doesn't go off like our ship did.
Fair enough.
That
So
is true.
This-
You going to teach her how to slap it on, or?
Yeah, this is more of a, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just like an insert thing. And if not, if it isn't, then Big Boy will make it that.
It's corporate. It's modular. It's snap on, snap off.
Yeah, so I can.
Fair
I'm just trying to despair proof this scenario. So, yeah, could someone throw that down in chat just so we have it on record?
Says
Yeah,
if
Trick,
you could
if
do
you
it, be
could.
super.
Oh, goodness sakes. I'm selected big boy again. I wish it would do it properly.
Hops up on a nearby crate.
No, you don't.
And
Copy.
I'll let
No,
you
I
copy
do.
it.
I'm
and I got-
flexing.
Yep, you can delete it.
Yeah, okay. Super.
Super.
And then big boy sets up a tamper-proof time delay system for the major to have control of during the op. There.
And also, well, I guess we'll remember the module. But yeah, that's all I wanted to do with that. Otherwise, I'm just standing back, admiring the bomb, looking satisfied with my small bit of work.
Sounds good.
All right. So it's the real major, and we're going to go ahead with this plan. Zizzo, have you got the blueprints? I can send. Should be able to send it with the 5-second com.
I think we're good. Just give me set this up. You know, puts together a data, basically a data package.
All right. Anything else before we send this message?
Out of character, did you say we're like leaving it here for her to, or are we meeting her
gonna bring it-
somewhere, or what?
You're gonna bring her back once you send the communication. She's gonna meet you at a different point.
Okay, so yeah, we're
Out of character,
taking
do we
one
know where
leave.
that different point is at the moment?
She will relay. She says she will relay to you once you do the communication. Like, please
Fair
confirm me in the bomb. Once you've confirmed the bomb, I'll relay a location to bring it.
Zen looks around for a hollow trolley.
It's. I should have described in the first part. This bomb is on a trolley already. It is like,
Excellent.
here, buy this black market weapon that can blow up a city.
Yeah, I figured.
I was just thinking that like Pike and Big Boy were just gonna drag it out of here.
I figured it's like most Star Wars crates. They've already got repulsor tech or
Yeah.
repulsor lifts
Yeah.
on them. Yeah, so
Is there
Zizzo
a
will
way to
prepare the
make
package.
it look less like a super bomb from casual
Uh,
observation?
I
Rather
don't
than
know,
just
put a-
looks like we're genuinely dragging a bomb about.
I don't know, put a tarp on it. Looks like you're dragging a body instead.
That
Better
wouldn't be out of place in Ashida.
Better than nothing.
Definitely not in this area. It's called the Deadlands.
Yep, sure. Like Zan rolls his eyes a bit about the idea of stereotyping, but it works in his favor in this case, so he's willing to let it slide.
Right. So as you ping her, she says she does a
Okay,
quick
so-
communication back to say
so-
meet me. Yeah.
So the
continue.
communication in basically has secured data package incoming and data package is sent, and it cuts off after 5 seconds.
You just get a cryptic response of coordinates, which are not far from where you met the major.
All right, let's take this body to where we need to go.
Oh, I was gonna say before we go, I was like, hey, take care of yourself, Roger. See you in the
Sure.
general vicinity
we're
of
gonna-
Kessel, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna be hitching a ride with him.
You're gonna hitching a ride with the guy.
Oh, I thought that was after.
No, you're gonna
Okay,
deliver
never
the
mind.
bomb, and then you're gonna hitch a ride with him to go to.
Yeah, we're not
Varro or
joining.
beyond.
We're not joining the major's assault unless circumstances.
Unless
Unless-
Rails.
Yes.
The GM doesn't want those rails.
With great rails come great real responsibility.
Someone put that in out of context.
Yes.
With great rails comes train responsibility.
Trait rail responsibility. But yeah,
Sorry.
for better or worse, like, yeah, okay. From what Shredder's saying, it sounds like I didn't plan a map for this major's mission. Please don't
Yes.
make me.
Yes, that's exactly how it is.
I figured that was going to be the big climactic battle on this planet. Unless.
No, I was picking up the things that have been put down of like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to quote unquote die over here. And I took it as like, okay, you are going to do that, but let's try to change the die over here part.
More or less, yes.
Which perhaps we have helped.
Yeah, like realistically, we've upped the chances of survival significantly. We've given extraction time, we've given something that can't be tampered with until it's inserted and they've got time to get out, and if someone does try to tamper it within that time limit, it blows up anyway. Like, that's a significant boon from we're staying in place and exploding with the device.
So she's not going to pull an Ashley / Kaden.
Basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or doesn't
But
have
she-
to. She might choose to.
Yeah, she doesn't
All
have to. She
roads
has
lead
fun.
to Mass Effect.
They have 5 minutes to get out, so they should be able to get on the chopper.
She won't pull an Ashley Caden. She'll just pull a Thane. While
Rip
everyone
my
else
man.
gets out.
Rip thing.
Fan was good, but he shouldn't have charged the assassin with a blade with his gun.
Right?
Yeah.
Please
They-
stay at range. You
they-
literally have a medical condition.
They did Thane so dirty. In ME3. It made me sad. Anyway.
Anyway,
They did everyone who interacted with the Kai Lang dirty. Kai Lang is just like the dude dirtier from a writing standpoint.
Plot armor until you eventually get to kill him.
one brief tangent. I've heard people saying like they could have made Kylan like better just by literally combining him and Jacob.
Yeah.
Or just making it Jacob. Or
Yeah.
making it like a clone of the Vermeer survivor. Or anyone who actually has like a personal tie to Shepard. Or just
Yeah.
writing Kai Lang better because he's actually not a bad character in the books.
Didn't he eat Anderson's cereal that one time?
Well, okay, well, we don't count that book. He peed in a vase and stole Anderson's cereal because he gets off in the danger. He broke into Anderson's apartment.
I have no idea if
Planted a
that's a
billion
joke or a
traps.
real thing.
No,
It's
this
real.
is real. This is Mass Effect Deception.
Yeah. Yeah, Kai Lang's actually a
great-
fairly serious, very sizable character in the books.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Anyway, But yes, no. Should it be written better? Much. Damn, that was rushed.
Anyhow,
Moving on.
tangent over.
Tangent over.
Yep, tangent over.
Could go on for fucking hours, but I like.
So as you're at
And
the
would.
point,
And it
in the as you're going to the point where the major said they would meet you, there's a fog cloud that kind of follows over to the area, and out of the fog cloud steps the major and her merry men.
Okay, she disappears into a fog cloud and appears from a fog cloud. Like,
Yes.
is that a natural phenomenon, or is that like literal sorcery that Zan's gonna raise his eyebrows at? Like, i.e., is this thematic window dressing or actual I carry fogs with me major?
You know,
I wouldn't be surprised if fogs and whatnot were a regular occurrence down here in the lower levels. So you just have to time.
She has one of
time
her buddies is just carrying a fog machine. Those exist. It was
Yeah, I
one
know
of the
they
one
exist.
one shots. I had
oh
one.
yeah, with the fogger.
Yep.
I will leave that as an exercise up to the reader to believe whether it's a natural or unnatural fog.
Zizzo has one of his blasters drawn, and when they kind of walk out of the fog, he just kind of tilts it lazily toward them before kind of tipping it up and not aiming it at them.
Tipping it down is the general stance.
Nope, up.
Not aimed at you, but ready to be brought up at a moment's notice.
Zizzo's cool. He goes up.
Fair enough.
He goes up. So as the major steps out of the cloud, she looks and says, "I'm glad you brought the bomb. Any complications?"
Thankfully, no.
Just a fucking psycho capitalist.
We got the acquired item for a price. Thankfully, a feasible one.
But ain't she a beauty? He just pats the top of it.
Everyone
Nope, I took out the module.
Yeah, I know.
She takes a look at an inspection for it.
I may have made some modifications to the, detonation sequence.
And
To
what
help-
modifications would those be?
And he tosses her the activation module.
She catches it with one of the arms as their other one's holding the blaster.
You slot that in when it's time. Hit the button, and you'll have, however much time you please before it goes off. Might up your chances a bit. Oh, also, if anybody tries to tamper with it, when the sequence is activated, it'll go off. So if you want to get out of there alive, you might want to leg it.
I did a little research. I'm sure you got my package. There's ways
Saw it.
out. Don't kill yourself if you don't have to.
I appreciate the aid.
If you want to be like Constable Squad, be actually like Constable Squad. Come back.
Yeah, for the record, explosions tend to look prettier when you're not inside them. Although this one is nuclear, so I would avoid looking at it directly or even tangentially. You know what? Just turn around and close your eyes. Try not to breathe any of the fumes. You know what? Just try to get as far away as possible and shield yourself and as entirely as possible.
Zizzo just gestures to her full armor. It's probably vacuum and or radiation sealed.
Probably.
I'm sure you understand the results of such a explosion. As such, I trust you to take the proper procedures.
I appreciate the extra effort you put into my survival. Our survival. This should take no longer than 2 hours, especially now with the new information confirming the minimal security at the sewers. He gestures for 2 troopers to start moving it and bringing it back in towards the cloud. Thank you.
You'll give us a signal when it's good to go.
I'll make a high intensity burst across. Yes.
Actually, I'm just pondering something like, because again, Zen is like got the wall leader specialization, so it make a bit of sense. And it's like, I'm going to sort of combine that with some basic knowledge. It's like, Zen will go, actually, it's like, actually something that'll be less likely to be detected. And like, Zen just does a quick double click on the comms, and basically sends like a very sort of faint click signal to the major. It's like something of that nature can be mistaken for background stuff for those who could be listening in, but it's distinct enough to be understood by those who know.
You do that if it makes you feel more comfortable. As the
If it
fog
makes you
clouds,
safer, if it makes you safer, I prefer it.
she nods and she starts walking into the cloud. The cloud's starting to be blown away. And as they walk into the cloud, they disappear, and the cloud itself disappears shortly thereafter, leaving nothing but emptiness down here.
In the moment where it's blowing away, you just see like one guy with a massive vape mod just going.
But yeah, you see the source of a vape mod.
We lose more clones that way.
Wait, didn't we jury rig a vape mod in Burgess to like set off a fire?
You might have.
I don't
I
remember.
think we did. I think that was my excuse for getting like flammable stuff in there. It's like, hey, it's just my vape mod. But yeah, I digress.
So as that's occurring, it'd probably be prudent to go see Roger at the shuttle. Unless you had something else you really wanted to see down here in the Deadlands.
We do not. And our time probably would be better worth helping Roger. Anything that can get us off planet safer and sooner is probably a good call.
Yep. Any of these? Well, no, that would be too conspicuous. Never mind. Nothing. I was gonna ask if any of the speeder bites could get
Apparently none of them have engines.
But then I rethought, being like, oh, you start screaming a speeder bike, something's gonna come looking. So he
Well,
did.
the speeder bikes don't have engines for part one, so
If I could build one.
there's not really components for it. Anyways, the loading ramp is down here, up towards the front, and on the inside you just see the.
Oh, we have not switched maps.
Yeah,
Yes.
take us all over to Sentinel Shuttle Plan.
Yes, that would probably be a good idea. You see these, basically they're just loading up boxes. They're just making sure everything is wired up and correctly over through here. They're mostly just doing checks as they're waiting for you to get on.
Right, Roger.
For the record, how long did it take us to get here?
Let's say about 40-50 minutes walking.
Right, Roger. We're handoff is secure, and we're just waiting for the signal.
All right, well, get yourself strapped in comfortably.
Should be about 70 minutes.
Tune yourself into this frequency. Listen for
Com click.
Com click, yeah. Hopefully, that doesn't mean we're saluting a dead person, but we'll see.
We've certainly done what we can, and certainly better than many of us could ever have done. I wish them the best, but I'm proud of all of you.
As you hear the click-click noise after a few minutes, Click, click.
Right.
All right. Let's take her up. But wait, sure hope the hyperdrive still works. As the ramp starts loading back up to close as the ship starts to take off from a concealed hangar. As you're flying away from the world of Nar Shaddaa, as you enter the upper atmosphere, you do notice a bright burst. Not terribly far from where you are located. Maybe a couple dozen miles as you're flying off. Presumably, it looks a lot like the nuclear explosion that you've seen on the holofilms before.
Gotta give the effects team some credit. They really match what a real one looks like.
What do you think, big boy? Everything you dreamed of?
Just watching the nuclear weapon explosion from orbit.
I've got I've produced sunglasses from my utility pouch.
I think we're far enough that the light shouldn't hurt us.
Yeah, no, I think we're probably outside the...
That said, with Delta Blow to the outsiders, the Major should hopefully be safe. And, well, I guess several civilians are not going to have children, but... Could be a lot worse.
Would you want to on Norkrita?
Nar Shaddaa, you mean?
God fucking...
There's so many Nar worlds.
Correct on both, probably.
Yeah, you're correct on both.
Out of character, but for the record, but yeah.
Yes.
Like Zan gives us sort of a. I can see the point you're making.
Shine on, you crazy Major.
Ziza will then send her an email and be like, well, here's hoping you got out of that alive. And if you're ever looking for a crew, Red Carpet Services could use a security chief.
Message is not read.
Presently.
Message still remains unread, but who knows?
Dum dum dum.
As the Roger is like, well, here goes nothing, and activates the hyperdrive, as there seems to be no response from Nar Shaddaa security or anything. Not even Al Hada, nothing else in the system. He's just zooming by a very quiet world. And
You did
enters
have your tech-
hyperspace.
Roger, you didn't? You have your tech check the hyperdrive, right?
Well, as you see the pseudo motion and you enter into hyperspace. Well, the good news is the hyperdrive works. The bad news is it's the backup hyperdrive, so it'll be a little bit slower than normal. Now, anyhow, take a good solid rest. I know at least when I get to Kessel, I got a lot of work in front of me. As do the rest of us. Kind of looks over to the Uloman.
You say you were going by Varl?
Yeah, the fastest way is to shoot through Varl, shoot up through the Butana Hada, and there's some secret routes. Get past Slay Hayron. Take a left, take a right. Be right in Kessel in no time.
Actually, this chance would have it. We ain't heading for Kessel. But Varl would be, yeah.
The Aloman actually looks at you, Zizu, with locked eyes. You're going to Varl? What?
Yeah. We got an old friend to save.
Kind of looks down, turns back to the co-pilot seat. Oh, You're braver than me.
Mostly just angry. I'm sick and tired of dealing with these fucking a-holes. But anyway, Roger, if you wouldn't mind, we'd appreciate it.
I think we can work with that. Yeah, we'll have to do some retrofitting on one of the cargo pods. But yeah, I think we can get you onto Varl safely. Pretty heavy security down there.
Yeah, don't
I
you
think we
know
can
it?
sneak you in. Yeah, well, we got plenty of time. There might be some extra resources on this ship that might be to your benefit.
Anything you can spare would be appreciated.
Roger nods as he continues to look back onto the ship. Well, if you need something, you can go back and talk to the rest of the crew. I'm sure they'll be happy to help you out. And with that, we'll end that part of the session. However, there's a little bit of a epilogue for the Major. In a very shadowy background, you see a silhouette of a man.
A cutscene.
Yeah, imagine like a cutscene.
Mhm.
You see the silhouette of a individual, black cape, kind of looks like some version of stormtrooper armor, dark skinned man, hologram with the Major. In a Giancarlo voice, you hear, "Was the mission successful, Major?" "Yes. The factory was destroyed. They know not of our deception with them." "Good. Their plans to accelerate their invasion is too fast for us in the unknown regions." "I'm surprised you didn't have to use the Lazarus cells for this. Did you get some additional help?" "Yes, some local criminals from my time in the syndicate graciously offered help to me." You see the man in the shadow nod. "Good. Perhaps soon, one day, they'll be recognized under the power of the First Order. But until then, we must hide in the shadows. Oh, and one more thing. Congratulations on your promotion, General."